by Portland International Airport, providing better access to the world.
On World News Tonight this Wednesday, more vandalism on the internet. Who is doing it and what can be done to prevent it? A 6-foot-long screw is recovered from the Alaska Airlines crash site. What does it say about the crash? Presidential candidates in need of a great strategist and an even better air traffic controller. And the cowboy who ropes the calves he cannot see. Oh!
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. There's been another rash of attacks on internet websites today. It's the 3rd day in a row. Once again, major websites were struck. The web is such a huge part of life and a significant part of the national economy now that these are major events. So first we go to ABC's Jack Smith.
Today, it was the turn of internet stock brokerage E-Trade and the technology site ZDNet, shut down for up to 2 hours by attacks choking their websites with phony requests.
Those attacks will cost real people real money. If you couldn't place a trade at a critical time this morning, you were going to lose money.
The damage to Yahoo, the first site shut down, is estimated at $500,000. No one knows who's responsible, but experts at IBM who monitor security say the attacks need not have been the work of an entire group.
It is definitely possible that it could be the act of a single individual from a home PC.
A single hacker can send his attack software to a number of other computers that might be thousands of miles away, then launch the attack not from his PC, but from the others. The National Clearinghouse for Hacker Attacks in Pittsburgh is helping the FBI and warns these types of proxy cyber assaults will be very hard to trace.
It means you have to track down a variety of different sources. Sometimes these networks are upwards of 100 machines, and certainly they can be much larger.
If computers overseas were used as a cover for the attacks, that will make detection even tougher. Many countries do not allow searches of their networks unless laws are broken in their countries. The FBI today said that ultimately the solution to all this is up to the internet community itself.
Because of your security is dependent on the overall security of the network, we urge sites, both in the government and private sector, to take appropriate means to secure them.
Attorney General Janet Reno promises to be tough on the perpetrator or perpetrators if they're caught. Jack Smith, ABC News, Washington.
So why? Why are hackers doing this? Because they can? Because they have a grudge or some deeper ideological motivation? No one knows yet. But once again, the world has been reminded that the internet is wide open territory, which makes it both great and vulnerable. Here's ABC's Kevin Newman.
Not all hackers are criminals. Some, such as this man who uses the alias Space Rogue, are crusaders for better online security. And he says this may be the most damaging hacker attack yet because it strikes at public confidence.
It's entirely possible that the public may no longer feel confident with shopping online, giving out their credit card information.
Up to now, internet site attacks have been mostly a nuisance. Government sites co-opted for a political message, others hacked just for fun. But what's happening now is serious enough for the Secretary of Commerce to issue a warning.
This should be a wake-up call for us in government and especially in the private sector.
The problem is that the internet was designed to let anyone in. Some security exists around financial information, but hackers are always trying to break through. When they do, companies are often defenseless. The best they can do is develop a shield. That's what ZDNet was doing today.
There are certain characteristics that you can look for. So we can filter another one just like it. The problem is that this could mutate, and we can't filter for mutation.
Rather than waiting for new attacks, some companies have decided if they can't beat hackers, they'll buy them and their knowledge to help thwart attacks.
Being out in front of these issues so that even before they happen, they're aware of the possibility of them happening.
Security experts also say the scope of these latest attacks may convince some companies to start spending more on keeping hackers out. Kevin Newman, ABC News, New York.
Well, websites are obviously trying to increase their security. We, by the way, offer continuing coverage of the effort to track the internet attackers. Go to our website, abcnews.com. In other news today, there may be a new clue to explain the crash of Alaska Airlines Flight 261. Investigators have found what's called a jack screw in the field of underwater wreckage where the MD-80 went down. And tonight, Alaska Airlines has ordered the immediate inspection of all its MD-80s, and more airlines may follow. ABC's Lisa Stark is with us tonight. Lisa?
Well, Peter, the Boeing company is expected to ask all airlines that fly the MD-80 and 3 other McDonnell Douglas models to take a look at those jack screws that move the horizontal stabilizers. Now, they don't think they have a widespread problem, so Boeing will only ask that airplanes currently undergoing maintenance be looked at. This is the key part from the Alaska Air MD-83 that crashed that investigators are so interested in. The jack screw is about 6 feet long and sits in the tail of the plane. It is turned by electric motors to move the jet's horizontal stabilizer. The pilots of the Alaska jet had reported stabilizer problems, and the flight data recorder shows the stabilizer moved into the full nose-down position. What concerns investigators are these metal strands twisted around the 2-foot section of jack screw that has been recovered. Does the damage indicate the mechanism gave way in flight?
It's not clear whether this damage was prior to the impact of the aircraft in the water, which would be significant to the investigation, or whether it occurred as a result of the impact of the aircraft into the water.
ABC News has learned investigators are also looking at a piece that's separated from the jack screw, one of several pieces designed to limit the movement of the stabilizer. Without those limits, the stabilizer might have moved far beyond what the plane was designed and tested for.
The positioning of the horizontal stabilizer suddenly at a much greater angle than the aircraft is designed to handle would mean an immediate and catastrophic loss of control.
Meantime, the U.S. Navy continues to look for other pieces of the tail assembly that may prove critical to solving this crash, and also to look for any piece of the plane that may have separated in flight. Peter?
Thanks, Lisa. Just to reassert that McDonnell Douglas is owned by Boeing now, and on the money tonight, a strike at Boeing. 13,000 engineers and technicians walked off the job over a contract dispute. There will apparently be no immediate effect on the production line. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down more than 258 points to close at 10,699. On the NASDAQ, stocks were down a little more than 64 points. Coming up on World News Tonight, death row inmates in advertisements, Benetton's in a controversy again, and roping in the steers against some very powerful odds.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Prescription Vioxx.
I don't want to run a marathon. I don't want to go skydiving. I don't want to feel like a kid again. Though, not feeling ancient would be nice. All I really want is to be able to climb the stairs and give Michael a bath.
Vioxx is here, a prescription medicine for the most common type of arthritis pain, osteoarthritis. One little pill, taken just once a day, can provide 24-hour relief. In rare cases, serious stomach problems such as bleeding can occur without warning. People with allergic reactions such as asthma to aspirin or other arthritis medicines should not take Vioxx. Tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. For more information, ask your doctor or pharmacist about once daily Vioxx for the relief of osteoarthritis pain. And you may be able to plan your day around your life instead of your pain. Vioxx for everyday victories.
Yeah, it was amazing. Whole different world. You were a volunteer? Yeah. I saw a world that wasn't so fortunate. They needed help. In business, I see a world full of opportunity. To help me take advantage of those opportunities, I invest in international funds with T. Rowe Price. I chose them because they work with analysts all over the world. See, I know what a difference being there can actually make.
T. Rowe Price, helping people invest with confidence for over 60 years.
You can rationalize it all you want, but eventually you're gonna get caught.
There's a tan minivan in the parking lot with its lights on. Whoever owns the tan minivan, your lights are on.
Okay, you're busted. It's time to check out the redesigned Mitsubishi Montero Sport. It's only the family car, when the family's in it.
In Missouri today, the Attorney General filed a lawsuit against the Italian clothing manufacturer Benetton for fraudulent misrepresentation. At issue is a Benetton project which draws attention to the death penalty debate. But it's also an ad for Benetton. Benetton often causes controversy because the family takes positions on controversial issues. Here's ABC's Jim Williams.
It was at this Missouri prison that Benetton photographed 4 of the death row inmates. Today, the state charged Benetton lied to gain access to the inmates and never said the photographs would be used in Benetton ads, as well as an ad campaign against capital punishment.
To lie to get into a prison and to try to profit from the picture of murderers, violent murderers, while not respecting the victims and not telling the truth to prison officials, I think is reprehensible.
The request to photograph the inmates was made in a letter written not by Benetton, but by a lawyers group opposed to the death penalty.
The letter said the inmates would be part of a photo essay funded by Benetton with limited distribution in the U.S. It said the photos would be taken by Oliviero Toscani, described as an Italian photojournalist.
That sends a clear signal to me that you are trying to do some kind of a news-type story.
There was no mention that Toscani is the creative director of Benetton.
You know, normally a big corporation, they haven't got the courage to pick up big issues. We have got the courage to pick up big issues, even if they are commercially negative.
Today, the Lawyers Association that set up the photo shoot said Missouri's lawsuit is baseless.
And that the information they were provided was full, accurate, complete, and reliable.
Victims' groups are outraged by the ads. Sarah Fremsdorf's husband, Jim, a state trooper, was shot to death 15 years ago. The convicted killer, Jerome Mallet.
It took me a long time to get through that hurt and pain. And when I see his face, right now, I get so sick at my stomach that I want to cry.
Today, that picture of Jim Fremsdorf's killer is on a 4-story billboard in New York City. Jim Williams, ABC News, Potosi, Missouri.
The United States and Russia are in a dispute once again, reminiscent of the Cold War. The State Department said today it is time to come clean about the fate of a Russian reporter, Andrei Babitsky. He was covering the war in Chechnya for Radio Liberty, which is funded by the United States, until the Russians arrested him. Here's ABC's John Martin.
This tape was delivered in the middle of the night to journalists in Moscow. Russian reporter Andrei Babitsky holding a handkerchief, saying he is more or less okay and hoping to be home soon. Late last week, this tape appeared. Russian intelligence agents said it showed Babitsky being handed over to Chechen rebels in exchange for 2 captured Russian soldiers. Babitsky's colleagues at Radio Liberty don't know what to make of the tapes and are terrified. They have had no direct contact with him for 3 weeks. Andrei Babitsky is one of the few Russian reporters to get behind Chechen lines to document suffering and destruction inflicted by the Russians.
He's been denounced in the Russian media for being sympathetic to the rebels. They want this guy silenced, absolutely.
Russian authorities have told conflicting stories. First, they confirmed he was missing, then said they arrested him, then produced this tape of his exchange.
But Babitsky's lawyer fears the tape may have been staged, that Russian intelligence agents wanted to give the impression he had been handed over to cover up what they had done to him.
We need to get an answer about what happened, his lawyer says, and we need to know he is alive. His wife fears the worst. So do his colleagues.
He's caught in a situation of lawlessness in a country that doesn't have a tradition of respect for law.
Today, Russia's interior minister said Babitsky is alive. But more than 40 Russian and foreign journalists are so suspicious they have now signed a petition demanding the government tell the truth about Andrei Babitsky. John Martin, ABC News, Washington.
In Britain, no apparent progress in the negotiations with the hijackers of that Afghan jet. There was a glimpse of the hijackers today, just at the bottom of the stairs there. After the crew escaped last night, there's now no one on board who can fly the plane. And there is growing speculation that the hijacking may have been a ploy for everyone on board to seek asylum in Britain. In the Middle East, for the third consecutive night, Israel is bombing Lebanon because 6 Israeli soldiers have been killed in recent weeks by Hezbollah fighters in the portion of Lebanon which Israel occupies. Israel now says it will not feel bound by rules of engagement banning attacks on civilian areas. An Israeli government report says its agents used excessive force against Palestinians during the uprising or intifada. The report was withheld for years and says top intelligence agents routinely permitted the torture of Palestinian suspects. In Austria, trying to calm the outside world, the new government says it will move quickly to compensate victims of Nazi slave labor. This is the government that includes the party led by Jörg Haider, whose statements about Nazi Germany have unnerved or made angry so many people. Next on the broadcast, the presidential campaign going transcontinental.
Sorry I'm late. I was at my doctor and... Oh, did you ask her about the things you've been reading about menopause? I did. She said...
It's important to consider menopause and the consequences of its associated estrogen loss.
You mean like hot flashes? Hot flashes and night sweats, but other things too, like vaginal dryness. It can interfere with intimacy.
And osteoporosis. I know that menopause increases our risk of fractures.
Dr. Hartman also said...
Studies show that menopause contributes to heart disease in women. Additional ongoing studies are investigating the connection between menopause and Alzheimer's disease, colon cancer, blindness, and tooth loss.
I had no idea.
My doctor and I decided to stick with a program we've agreed on for years.
I should speak to my doctor.
When considering menopause, consider the entire body of evidence. Speak to your doctor about what you can do to help protect your health during and after menopause.
So, Ralph, I had a really nice time.
Really?
Yeah.
From like 1 to 10, how would you rate the date? Was I prompt and courteous?
Yeah.
Like what number?
9.
And was I dressed appropriately?
Well, that jacket they lent you was a 4.
What if you had the benefit of feedback? Did it make you feel special?
Yeah.
Number?
10.
We do. 5-star. A new way to sell and service cars and trucks. It's better. We'll prove it.
Foreign travel is fun, if you know the language. Well, for instance, I don't say, ooh, these melons smell nice. I say, barushti daishamana. But exotic destinations aren't for everyone. That's why I put thousands of ideas into my travel section, from skiing to scuba diving. Travel ideas start here. Thank you.
This is going to be a trivia question about politics for a long time to come. How much did the businessman Steve Forbes pay for 2 presidential campaigns, 4 years ago and this year, which ultimately got him nowhere? $88 million. And he is, wisely, some would say, giving it up. He finished 3rd in Delaware behind Governor Bush and Senator McCain. Mr. McCain finished 26 points behind Mr. Bush. Mr. Bush was closer to Mr. McCain in New Hampshire, just to set the record straight. So now to the other party. We're going to take a closer look tonight at a mountain that Senator Bradley primarily has to climb. Between now and Election Day in November, the most important event on the political calendar is called Super Tuesday, March the 7th. Look at all the political primaries and caucuses there are on that single day, including 2 of the biggest states, New York and California. And the question is, particularly for Senator Bradley, how and where do you make a difference? How and where do you get or keep the edge? Here's ABC's John Cochran.
I would say, look, I'm in this race because I think I can win on March 7th.
But this is a frustrating time for Bill Bradley. The Republican challenger, John McCain, is getting the favorable coverage in the media that Bradley was getting only a few months ago. And Bradley needs nationwide publicity because he is now running a coast-to-coast campaign. Just arranging his travel plans is an enormous strain at his modest headquarters in New Jersey. It's a lot easier for the frontrunner, who always has Air Force Two ready to go.
He has the White House Travel Office, which makes his plans. We have young people here who every day schedule, Bill Bradley. We have, planes, different planes at different times. But, that's part of the challenge.
Now, with only a month to go, Bradley must carefully choose the states where he will spend his time and money.
He cannot be everywhere with equal force. He must be brutally honest in deciding which states he can win.
If you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere. It's Bradley time.
Wherever he goes, even in New York, where he was a basketball star, Bradley faces entrenched support for Al Gore, who has a wide lead in the polls. All across the country, Gore has the backing of the Democratic establishment, politicians who know which issues will play well in their states.
To have them committed to Al Gore, voting for Al Gore, and getting all their constituents in line with that is a big, big plus for Al Gore.
Here you go, guys. Help out Al. Al's our guy.
Gore can also count on labor unions to help organize his events, to turn out crowds. Bradley has to rely heavily on political novices, especially college students, to set up his rallies.
Hey, you guys take a sign. Here, you can take one too.
Political pros say Bradley also needs help from someone else, from Al Gore.
Can Bradley still win this? Yes, but it's going to require Gore making a mistake.
That's why Gore is trying to play it safe, using his Secret Service contingent to keep reporters and their questions at a distance, and sticking to the issues he thinks work for him.
We've just begun to fight for universal health care, step by step.
It will be a grueling month for both Bradley and Gore as they crisscross the country repeatedly, with Gore working hard at avoiding mistakes and Bradley looking for an opening. John Cochran, ABC News, West Orange, New Jersey.
When World News Tonight comes back, 1 in a million.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
When dentures dream, they see the perfect denture cleanser. One with the stain-fighting power of Efferdent and the freshening power of Listerine. Well, little friend, dream no more. It's really here. It's called Efferdent Plus. It's extra fresh, and nothing gets your dentures cleaner. Efferdent Clean and Listerine Fresh. That's Efferdent Plus.
It's kind of like surf food as opposed to Mexican food. We're actually in the back of our main corporate office.
Dad was our original investor into the company.
He goes, this is my retirement money you guys are playing with, so make it count.
Now that we're growing, what we ran into is a lot of red tape.
That's why I leave all the banking to my little brother Mingo. See, he's got the short area.
That's where Merrill Lynch has stepped up. Dom found us the right people at Merrill to help us out. They saw past the shorts and T-shirts.
Where else in the world can a Chinese guy sell Mexican food? If this isn't the American dream, I don't know what is.
Now it's just right, babe. Right as it can be.
Frank's Red Hot, just the right blend of heat and spice for a whole lot of flavor.
It's just so right, babe.
Frank's Red Hot, tasting just right.
Now there's a Chevy Venture with flip and fold seats and a built-in entertainment system.
I knew I should have taken a left turn at Albuquerque.
Introducing the new Warner Brothers edition from Chevy Venture, the most versatile minivan ever. One quick call can help you learn more.
Get $1,500 cash back on any Chevy Venture model, including the popular Venture LS. See your Chevy dealer today.
Tylenol House Call. Information for healthy living.
My headaches just knock me out, right out of commission.
I get back pain. It can be brutal sometimes.
Arthritis pain in my shoulder.
There's so many reasons why people use pain relievers. And these days, so many choices as well.
I think they're all about the same, pretty much.
Actually, not all pain relievers are the same. Sometimes pain relievers like aspirin and even ibuprofen can cause stomach irritation. And in some cases, this irritation can occur without any symptoms.
I didn't know aspirin could do that.
One pain reliever that won't cause that kind of stomach irritation is the medicine in Tylenol. In fact, Tylenol is the most gentle pain reliever for your stomach. Questions? Talk to your doctor.
Tonight, a side of hate groups you may have never seen. Women rising to power, not just preaching hate, breeding hate.
I believe I'm giving them a good Christian upbringing.
The feminine side of racism. An eye-opening 2020 tonight at 10, 9 Central.
Coming up next on Channel 2 News, thousands of Boeing employees walk off the job, even right here in Portland. We'll show you why. Plus, these folks are getting creative when it comes to helping users break their addictions to drugs. I'm Steve Dunn. Local News is next.
Find this evening Getting the Message. On the internet this afternoon, we found the homepage for the U.S. Association of Blind Athletes. And the blind, they point out, are often told that they're a burden to society, held back in school, pitied and excluded from countless activities, especially athletics. It's about time, the association says, to change these attitudes. And we think it'll be a great deal easier to do so after you've met the blind cowboy. ABC's Judy Muller is in Lubbock, Texas.
Team steer roping is a tough sport, requiring speed and accuracy. First, one cowboy must rope the steer's head, then turn the animal so his partner can rope the hind legs, all in a matter of seconds. But if you think that's tough, imagine doing it blind. Oh. The cowboy who just roped that steer's head can't see a thing.
He's one in a million. Very few people could ever do it.
Meet Jerry Long. He wears a patch to hide a disfigured eye, but he is actually blind in both.
I have light perception only. I can't see you, and you're probably within 2 or 3 feet of me.
When Long first lost his sight to diabetes, he figured his riding and roping days were over, until he made the mistake of teasing a friend who was having trouble roping a steer.
And I said, Devo, here I am, an old, bald-headed, fat, blind man. I said, just tie some bells on his tail, and I can do better than that.
And you were teasing?
I was teasing, yes, ma'am, very muchly so.
But his friend called his bluff, saying,
there's a horse, and there's the steers, and here are the bells.
And so Long mounted up for the first time in years.
And my heart was right up here in the throat, and my saddle horn had turned 9 shades of purple, and because I was squeezing it hard.
To his surprise, he managed to rope a couple of steers that day and was soon competing again. Competing with bells on. Following that sound and relying on the instincts of his horse, he competes with the best of them, at least in his class. Sometimes he misses, of course. In this case, he roped the wrong set of feet. But he often takes home the prize money, much to the amazement of those he beats.
I would never get aboard the horse. Never.
If you were blind?
If I was blind or blindfolded or whatever.
How'd you feel if he beat you?
He probably did.
Long likes to win, of course, but winning has taken on a whole new meaning. He and his friend, Cowboy Hall of Famer Tuffy Cooper, put it this way.
You have one good horse, one good wife, one good dog, you've made it through the world good.
That's right, and we've had all of that.
One good horse, one good dog, one good wife, and a whole lot of grit. Judy Muller, ABC News, Lubbock, Texas.
That's our report on World News Tonight. Don't forget 2020, and on Nightline they'll take a look at some animal rights groups who are trying to protect the last herd of wild buffalo living in the country. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening. Good night.
From ABC News, tomorrow, men have theirs, so where's the Viagra for women? Can you get it? Is it safe? Does it work? Good Morning America has inside information every woman needs to know tomorrow. And on World News Tonight, the scary rising cost of prescription drugs. The fight to get you lower prices. Watch World News Tonight.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Channel 2 News is brought to you by Teplic Laser Surgery Centers. You're watching KATU Portland. Now, Channel 2 News.
The Northwest's largest